Most people walk into the stock market like it's a casino, when in reality, it is actually more like a gladiator pit. You're walking in without a sword or a shield and hoping to walk away with all the riches. That ends today. So, how can I help you? I've made almost every trading mistake in the book. My goal is simple. I simplify the market so you don't have to learn the hard way. Now, before we dive in, just a reminder, I am not a financial advisor and this is just for educational purposes. This has been based on my own research and mistakes, and I highly encourage you to do your own due diligence. The financial markets are actually really interesting to me because the barrier to entry is actually so low compared to something like a brain surgeon. To be a brain surgeon, you wouldn't just go tomorrow and go, you know what, I think I can do a brain surgery. You need years and years of study. So why are people willing to jump into the stock market, financial markets, with no preparation under their belt? Here is something very simple that I think you should do to help yourself prepare for these financial markets. You need to study. This is something that I actually did. So I was about to get into the financial markets and make my own first investment. And then I realized, wait, I don't actually know what I'm doing. On that moment, I decided I'm going to study for at least 6 months before I jump in and make my first investment. I ended up taking roughly a year, and that's what I think everyone should do before they start putting their own hard-earned cash up in these markets, because these markets are filled with extremely smart people that are willing to take your money if you haven't done the right preparation. You're actually jumping into a field of some of the smartest people out there, and dumbest, but essentially you want to make sure you are prepared enough so you can take advantage of the dumb people jumping in and arming yourself so you can protect yourself from the smart people. Think of it this way, going back to my gladiator pit analogy. Imagine you are back in Roman times and you have the opportunity to walk into the Colosseum for excessive amount of gold and riches. Do you think you would get in there without training some martial arts, knowing how to wield a sword or a shield? I don't think you would, so why would you do the same thing with the financial markets? This is your own money you're putting up. You best want to hold on to it. You need to go in with an understanding of the fundamentals and your own tools to help protect yourself. So it's all well and good me telling you this, but with so much information out there, where exactly do you start? This is the great thing about trading and investing. There are completely different ways you can build a trading and investing style that's help suit you. There was a really good story that Tom Dante brought up when he was trading in prop. I highly recommend watching his YouTube videos, Tales of a Trader. They are very good and actually gives you some secondhand knowledge of someone who's actually traded in prop. He said that at this particular prop firm that he was studying at, the two best traders had very different trading styles. One traded purely off the news and the other one never looked at the news, and they were both the best traders in that firm. It just goes to show that you need to get out there and research, and you're not too sure where you're going to find your edge or alpha without trying things. Maybe you're going to be a purely fundamental trader. Maybe you're going to be a purely technical analysis trader. It doesn't matter. Maybe you do a combination of both. That's why you need to study and prepare, because until you do that, you don't actually know what you're doing. In terms of learning material, there's some really good free resources out there. Investopedia, StockCharts.com. If you want to look into the more fundamentals and financials of, say, companies that you're looking to invest in, I highly recommend Yahoo Finance. It's very simple and gives you some very easily accessible web pages that you can look for free. You don't even need an account. And it is actually very important to understand the tools you are going to be using for your trading journey. So start demo trading, start trading with a tiny amount of capital so you understand your orders and how your broker works, their interfaces. Very underrated stuff that you need to do to best prep yourself. All these videos I'm going to make, I think for the most part, are going to be relatively short, but I just want to get across some very simple information across to you to help better prepare yourself so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I recommend studying for a year, at the very least 6 months. If you don't do that, you're really just doing yourself a disservice. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.